Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday, April 13th. Thank you for being here for Everyday Thoughts. And the thought today is about purity and what it means to be pure. And again, this is one of those words that's been kind of trashed and made to be something that's not really real. And if you're pure, you're not having fun. If you're pure, you're kind of out of it and you're otherworldly. In reality, purity is just the opposite. You cannot be more connected to reality than if you pursue what it means to be pure. Pure is not some state where I've never done anything wrong. The only human that's ever done anything wrong is Jesus. So it's not talking about that, but rather it's reflecting a genuineness of heart, because it's about the inner person. When James lists the characteristics of wisdom from above, the first one he talks about is pure, as a quality of what it means to be wise, to know God. So what we read and what we call the Beatitudes, I'm also going to refer to them as the first things, because these are the first words that Jesus gives in the first recorded sermon that we have of his. And he's speaking to crowds, throngs of people. And these are the words he chooses to begin with. These are the things that he thinks that are most important. So these Beatitudes, really, you could call them Jesus's ideas of first things, or Christ's first things. So we've come now to pure. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. I'm going to talk about heart tonight, because that's, again, you talk about a word that is misused and misunderstood in our culture. It's heart. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are those whose heart is significantly focused on God, where there's a genuineness there. One of the things that we enjoy about people is someone who's genuine, someone who's real, someone who is consistent with what they are made to be and are true to that. Now, sadly, you can be a really bad person and be consistent with being a bad person. But what's being talked about here in terms of purity, remember, God sets a standard for purity. So a person who is reliable, who is trustworthy, who says the right things, who's not out to get you, but really cares more about you than they do about themselves. Someone who has moral integrity, someone that you can rely on. Again, not perfectly, but that's their general character. And that's what's being talked about here. A person who is pure, who is genuine, who is authentic, who is not double-minded, who's not two-faced, who doesn't say one thing and does another, is not the kind of person that the Proverbs warns against. This is the kisses of an enemy are profuse, but faithful are the wounds of a friend. A person who's going to be caring and kind and be genuine in talking to you about what's real, that's a pure person. See, now this quality of purity has a certain attractiveness to it. And I become pure, not because I am pure to begin with, but because God makes me pure. I am consistent with what God has made me to be, and therefore I know God. That's what purity is all about. That's what this first thing, this beatitude of purity, is what Jesus is talking about here. It's such a beautiful concept. And we long for this. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. They're going to see God because they know him, they interact with him, they represent him in such a way that there's an attractive. And we are drawn to people who have that kind of purity. So it's not some kind of a moral, pure person sitting in a box who has nothing to do with the world. Rather, a person who is pure in heart is someone whose life is consistent with what it means to know God, is faithful, you can rely on them, they're morally consistent, and they're not about themselves. That's a pure person, what Jesus is talking about. That's why it's on this list of pure things, first things. It's important. And the purity starts from the heart. And again, like I said, we're talking about heart tonight. But hearts, we don't change our own hearts. God changes our hearts. So these first things, these Beatitudes that Jesus is talking about in this sermon, are what happens when someone has been made to know God. That's how we can recognize them. That's how we can long for them. May God give us a heart this day that longs for purity in this sense, for genuineness, for authenticness. Someone that you can count on to be faithful. That's purity. So think about that this morning, so that your focus, your thoughts today are about being pure in the way that God describes being pure. And we'll talk about pure in heart tonight. Again, thanks so much for being here. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit that, and you'll then turn on notifications, and these videos will come to you automatically. If you have a great day today, focusing on what it really means to be pure, to be an authentic person, so that you're known that way. This is a great opportunity for us. So again, thanks again. You have a great day. Bye-bye.